I just discovered my brother has a secret second family, and I ran into them while I was at the Chili's, 60 miles away from our hometown, coming back from a business conference, and I did not expect to see my brother there with some strange woman. And then I saw him hug her, and one of the little kids called him Daddy. What I didn't know is this would unravel some of the darkest family secrets I could ever imagine. And yes, this has 3 updates and I have every single detail. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. Sorry for formatting on mobile, and honestly, I'm sitting in my Hyundai, parked outside Walmart, because I can't go home right now and face my parents. I'm 34 female, just discovered that my brother Mark, 36, has been living a complete double life for the past 6 years. I honestly didn't even know where to begin with this. My hands are shaking as I type this, and I've already stressed eaten an entire bag of Doritos that I grabbed when my shift ended. I guess I should start from the beginning. Mark has always been the golden child in our family. University scholarship, successful career in finance, perfect wife Jennifer, 2 adorable kids, 5 and 3. My parents constantly compare me to him, which, whatever, I'm used to it. I work as an assistant manager at Walmart, live in a small apartment, and I'm single, after my ex and I broke up last year. I'm not complaining, I like my life, but just giving context for the family dynamic. Last Sunday, I stopped at a Chili's about an hour away from our hometown, because I was coming back from visiting a college friend. I rarely go to this area, maybe been there twice in my life. I was waiting for my food when I saw Mark walk in with a woman and 2 young children. At first I thought, oh cool, Mark's here too. But then realized that woman was not Jen, and those were not his kids that I know. I almost called him out, but something stopped me. The way that he had his arm around this woman's waist, how comfortable they seemed together. The little boy called him Daddy, and Mark picked him up and swung him around. I ducked down in my booth and watched them get seated across the restaurant. I couldn't hear anything, but I could see them clearly. They were acting like a family, a normal, happy family. Mark was being affectionate with this woman, holding her hands across the table. She was pretty, maybe early 30s. The kid looked to be around 3 and 5, similar ages to his real kids. Guys, I was in complete shock. I quickly paid for my food to go and left before he could spot me. The whole drive home was just replaying what I'd seen over and over. Was I going crazy? Did I just imagine my brother with a secret second family? When I got home, I started to dig. I'm not proud of this, but I went on social media and looked up everything I could about Mark. He doesn't use social media much. Now I know why. But I found this woman through some creative searching. Her name is Samantha, according to her profile, which was mostly private. But from what I could gather, there were pictures of them together going back 6 years. 6 years! And there were photos of the kids too. A boy and a girl, just like his kids, with Jen. Her profile said she was in a relationship, but did not name who with. There were vacation photos at beaches, Christmas photos, birthday parties, a whole life documented there. In one photo caption, she referred to my love, who took the picture. There was even a photo of a house that I've never seen before. Guys, I was shaking at this point. I did some more digging and found out that she lives in this town about an hour away. I'm guessing Mark has been telling Jen that he's working late or traveling for business when he's actually with his secret family. I don't even know how he's managing 2 mortgages or how he explains where all of his money goes. Here's where it gets even more complicated. 2 years ago, Mark helped me out. When I was going through financial troubles after my car broke down and I needed to get a new one, he lent me $7,000, which I've been paying back slowly. $2,000 a month, and I still owe him about $2,300, but now I'm wondering if that money came from his joint account with Jen. Did she know that he was lending me the money? Is he using their joint finances to support a whole separate household? I haven't told anyone yet about this. Not my parents, not Jen, not any of our mutual friends. I've been carrying this knowledge around for almost a week now, and it's eating me alive. I don't know what to do. If I tell Jen I'm blowing up their marriage and my niece and nephew's lives, If I confront Mark, he'll probably just deny it or beg me to keep his secret. If I tell my parents, they'll either not believe me or be completely devastated. Also, I guess I'm worried about the money I still owe him. I know that sounds selfish, but I make $42,000 a year. I barely make ends meet with rent and car payments as it is. If everything blows up, is he going to demand I pay him back immediately? I can't afford it. Yesterday, Mark texted me asking if I wanted to come over for his son's birthday party this weekend. Acting completely normal, like he doesn't have another son with another woman. I made up an excuse about having to work. He replied, "No worries, we'll miss ya. Maybe we can meet up at Applebee's next week for dinner. My treat." I literally don't know how he lives with himself. How do you maintain 2 entire families and just casually text your sister about Applebee's? I'm sitting in my car in the Walmart parking lot after a long shift. I just had to get this off my chest onto the internet. Am I the a-hole if I just cut him off? Stop responding to text, stop going to family events if he'll be there. Stop everything until I figure out what to do. I don't think I can look him in the eyes knowing what I know, but I also feel like I'm not complicit in his lies, but not saying anything. I don't even know what I'm asking here. Advice, similar experiences, someone to tell me I'm not crazy. I just know I can't keep pretending everything is normal. Edit. Holy crap, this blew up overnight. Thank you for the responses, and to answer some questions, yes. I'm 100% sure it was Mark. We grew up together for 18 years, and I know what my brother looks like. No, I don't think they're a poly-open relationship, or that Jen knows. Mark and Jen are fairly religious and conservative. There's no way that this is an open marriage situation. Several people mention this could be witness protection or some kind of undercover work. Mark works in the corporate finance field. He's not a cop or in the FBI, LOL. I haven't figured out exactly, how he's managing the logistics of 2 separate lives. But my guess is that he travels a lot more for work legitimately and uses those opportunities to see his other family. To the people suggesting I blackmail him, what is wrong with you? I'll update when or if I decide on what to do.
Guys, when I tell you that this is only the start, that was the original post, and it gets a heck of a lot crazier. We have multiple updates to hop into, and in update 2, there's a twist that happens that I don't think anybody could see coming. I want to check out the problem comment of the original post. This one is from a poster that says, "Okay, I'm going to say what everyone is dancing around. You're the jerk. If you don't tell the wife immediately, what is wrong with you that you're even hesitating? Your brother is a serial cheater and a liar who has created an entire second family, and you're worried about a $2,300 loan? Are you serious?" As somebody who has been cheated on for years, while everyone around us, quote, didn't want to get involved. Well, let me tell you, you are involved. The moment you saw them at that Chili's restaurant, you became complicit. Every day you don't tell his wife is another day you're actively participating in her humiliation. And I'm sorry, but your financial concerns come across as incredibly selfish. His wife is about to have her entire world shattered, and you're worried about your Walmart salary and car payment? Do you hear yourself? Your brother isn't just having an affair. He's living an entire double life with children involved. Those kids think that he's their dad. This isn't a drunken one-night stand. This is calculated, year-long deception at an epic scale at that. He's stealing time, money, and emotional resources from his legal family to support his affair family. The fact that you're even considering protecting him makes me question your morals. What would you want if you were his wife? Wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you be absolutely devastated to learn that your sister-in-law knew and said nothing? You need to tell her today, not tomorrow, not next week when it's convenient for you, today. And be prepared with evidence because your brother will deny it all. Your brother is a narcissistic liar who has manipulated multiple women and innocent children. Stop enabling him. And don't make excuses. Do the right thing before more damage is done. Wow, what an interesting comment. A lot of people in the comment section do agree with that person that OP should tell the wife. But there was other people saying, no, OP shouldn't really get involved in this. Just pretend like she didn't see anything and just let it blow over or let the nature handle itself. Guys, I need to know whose side you would be on. Would you be in favor of telling, the wife, or keeping it a secret? Drop your comments down below. We're about to hop into the first update. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Let's do it. Update number 1. First, thanks to everybody who commented on my original post. Reading through your responses gave me the courage to finally confront Mark, and well, I don't even know where to begin. Everything's gone completely to hell, and nothing is what I thought it was. So after my shift at Walmart yesterday, I had to work a double because somebody called out, just my luck. I texted Mark asking if we could meet somewhere private to chat. He suggested meeting at this little cafe near his office today during his lunch break. I was a nervous wreck all morning, barely slept, and had to call in sick to work. I stopped at a Dunkin' for coffee on the way because I needed something to keep me functioning. I got to the cafe early and snagged a corner table where we would not be overheard. Mark showed up right on time, looking all professional in his suit and tie. He gave me a hug like everything was normal and asked what was so important that I need to talk in person. I didn't beat around the bush, I straight up told him. I saw him at Chili's with another woman and 2 children. The look on his face, I'll never forget it. All the color drained away, and for a second I thought he might pass out. He didn't try to deny it or make excuses. He just put his head in his hands and said, "How did you find out about Samantha?" I laid out everything I'd seen and discovered. As I talked, he just kept shaking his head. When I finished, he took a deep breath and said, "It's not what you think. And you guys, it wasn't." Mark isn't cheating on his wife with a secret second family. The truth is so much more messed up that I almost wish that it was what it was. Jen, his wife, isn't actually his wife. They're not married. They never have been. See, she is his cousin. Yep, you read it right. His ducking cousin. And those are not his biological children. He's their uncle, who's been helping raise them since their dad, Jen's ex, took off years ago. Well, Samantha is his actual wife of 8 long years. Those kids I saw are his real children, and they own a house in that town an hour away. They have a real marriage license and everything. For 6 years, Mark has been pretending to be in a relationship with his own cousin to please our parents, who are extremely traditional and have always loved Jen. Apparently, after Jen's husband left her with 2 small kids, our parents pressured Mark to do the right thing and take care of her. So he started pretending that they were together, while actually being married to Samantha the whole time. Samantha knows about this arrangement. She's known the whole time. She agreed to it because Mark convinced her it was temporary, just until Jen got back on her feet and our parents would not be around much longer. That was his words, not mine. But it kept going, and now he's trapped in this insane lie where he's pretending to be in a relationship with his actual cousin, while his wife and kids are hidden away in another town? He splits his time between the 2 households, telling each side that he's working when he's with the other. The money that he lent me, that came from his actual joint account with Samantha. Jen doesn't know about that either. I sat there in complete shock as he explained it all. My brother, who I thought was their upstanding family man, has been living this elaborate lie for years. I don't even know who he is anymore. The worst part, he asked me to keep a secret. He had the audacity to say, "Please don't tell Mom and Dad. It would hurt them to know the truth." I lost it. I told him he was a coward, I called him a liar, and I asked about his real kids. Growing up thinking their dad is just away for work. Half the time. About Samantha sharing her husband with another household. About Jen, who thinks she's in a relationship with him. About our parents, who have this complete fictional idea of who their son is. He starts crying right there in the cafe. A grown man in a business suit sobbing into his coffee. He admitted it all spiraled out of control. He never meant for it to go on this long, and he's terrified of disappointing our parents. He doesn't know how to end it without hurting everyone. I walked out. I couldn't listen to it anymore. I drove straight to Target and wandered the aisles for like an hour just trying to process it. I'm now sitting in my vehicle in the parking lot typing this update on my phone because I can't face going home. I don't really know what to do.
I told Mark that he has 1 week to come clean to everybody or I'll do it for him. He's been calling and texting nonstop since I left, and my phone is blowing up with messages begging me to understand, to give him more time and to help him figure out how to fix this. Well, how do you fix 6 years of an elaborate lie? Our entire family dynamic is based on complete fiction. I blocked his number for now, and I can't deal with it. I called in sick to work for tomorrow too. I'm thinking of just driving to my friend's cabin a few hours away to clear my head. She keeps the key under a rock by the back door and told me I could use it anytime. I honestly don't know if I'll ever be able to look at my brother the same way again. Or my parents. Were they really so overbearing that Mark felt that he had to construct this whole fake life? Or is he just a pathological liar? I don't even know who the a-hole of the story is anymore. Him for lying, our parents for pressuring him, me for threatening to expose it all, Samantha for going along with it. The only innocent ones seem to be the children and Jen, who have no idea their lives are built on a lie. I'm sorry if this update is all over the place, I'm still in shock. I've been sitting in this parking lot so long that security drove by twice to check. I should probably go before they call the cops on a crazy woman crying in her car. I'll update again once I figure out what the hell I'm going to do next. Edit. To clarify something from my first post, when I said Mark and Jen were religious and conservative, I was going by what they present to the family. Obviously, that was part of the act too. I don't actually know what Mark's real beliefs are anymore, because apparently everything I know about him is a lie. Edit 2. Some people are asking why I didn't recognize Samantha from family photos. The answer is that Mark has deliberately kept his two lives completely separate. Samantha has never been to any family events. He's always made excuses about why she could not come. And like I said, Mark barely has any social media presence. So there weren't photos of them together that the family would see. Edit 3. Yes. Our parents think Mark and Jen are legally married. They had a private ceremony that none of us were invited to because it was just for them. Obviously, now I know it was a lie.
Well, it's not over yet. There's another update, and this next update's the final one that wraps it all up, but I'm letting you know something happens towards the end of the story, and it's something that you probably didn't see coming. I want to check out the problem comment for the update. It says, I rarely comment, but this update is one of the most obvious pieces of creative writing I've seen. So your brother just happened to be at a random Chili's an hour away, at the exact time as you, and you just happened to see him from across the restaurant, but he didn't see you? And in 1 week, you went from, I saw my brother at Chili's with another woman, to uncovering this elaborate double life scenario that belongs in a bad soap opera. And now you've added this ridiculous twist about him pretending to be married to his cousin to please your parents? Come on! That's not how life works. Nobody pretends to be in a relationship with their cousin for 6 years just to please their parents. What about holidays? Family photos, social media? How has no one noticed this arrangement for 6 years? You know, the inconsistencies are starting to glare. In your first post, you said Mark and Jen were fairly religious and conservative, but now suddenly they're cousins in a fake relationship? And somehow, your parents have never questioned why Mark was to work every other week, or why his supposed wife is fine with him being gone half the time. I noticed you've also conveniently made yourself into the hero of the story. The truth teller who's going to expose all the lies. Classic unreliable narrator setup. If you're going to make up stories for internet points, at least make them somewhat believable. This reads like you watched too many episodes of Jerry Springer and decided to combine all the most shocking elements into a ridiculous tale. Nice try, but I'm calling crap on this entire saga. I expect the next update will include aliens or long-lost twins to really drive home how fake this is. Guys, At first, I was agreeing with that comment because, man, there was some ridiculous stuff that happened in this story, but then I started reading all the replies that OP was saying to everyone in the comment section, and it genuinely feels like a real story. And then the third update that we're about to hop into pretty much sealed the deal on it. I think this is real, and I think this person is living one crazy life. Let's see what happens in the final update, guys. Here it is, update number 2. It's been 3 weeks since my last update, and I honestly don't even know where to begin. My entire family has imploded. I'm writing this from a motel room because I can't face going back to my apartment where all the memories are. Fair warning, this is going to be long and it's going to be ugly. Firstly, I want to thank the few people who sent supportive messages. To the person who called me selfish for worrying about the $2,300 loan, you were right. I was being selfish. I see it now. But trust me, money is the absolute least of my concerns at this point in time. So after my last update, I did go to my friend's cabin. I turned off my phone and spent 2 days just staring at the lake, trying to process everything. When I finally turned my phone back on Sunday night, I had 47 missed calls. Not just from Mark, but from my parents, and from Jen, even from numbers I didn't recognize. My voicemail was full. Apparently, Mark did not wait for my 1-week ultimatum. He had a complete breakdown after our cafe confrontation and decided to blow up his entire life all at once. According to the voicemails and texts, here's what happened. Mark went straight home from our meeting to his actual house with Samantha. He told her everything. That I discovered them and that I'd give him an ultimatum and that he could not keep living the lie. Then he called Jen and asked her to meet him there. Yeah, he brought Jen to his house with Samantha because he wanted to, quote, get everybody in one room and come clean all at once. I can't even imagine what the car ride must have been like for Jen, going to a strange house with no idea what was waiting for her. When she got there, Mark introduced her to his actual wife and their children. He explained the whole twisted arrangement, that he and Jen were not actually really together, that she was his cousin, that Samantha was his legal wife, that our parents didn't know anything. Jen absolutely lost it, and I don't blame her one bit. Apparently, she had no idea about any of this cousin nonsense. As far as she knew, they were in a real relationship, and they have been sleeping together too for years. She thought they were actually married. All that stuff about her being in on it and then pretending for our parents' sake was a complete, utter lie. Mark has been manipulating everybody. So Jen calls our parents from Samantha's house. Absolutely hysterical, by the way. They drove over immediately, so now everybody was there. Mark, Samantha, their kids, Jen, her kids, our parents, all in this one house of lies. That was finally starting to collapse. My mother left me a voicemail at 9:47 at night. It was just her crying. No words, just sobbing for 3 minutes and 42 seconds. From what I've pieced together from all the messages, our father had a heart attack right there in Samantha's living room. When the full truth came out, he was rushed to the hospital, and that's why everybody was trying to reach me so desperately. I drove straight there from the cabin, still in the same clothes I've been wearing for 3 days. Dad was in the ICU. Mom was sitting in the waiting room looking like she has aged 20 years overnight. When she saw me, she didn't even hug me. She just said, "Did you know? Did you know about all this?" I told her I just found out. That I'm the one that confronted Mark, that I had no idea he would do something so stupid as to gather everyone together like this. She said, okay, and nodded, but I could tell something had broken between us, like she could not look at me without seeing Mark's lies. Dad survived the heart attack, but the doctors said it was serious. He's still in the hospital now, and they're talking about a triple bypass next week. While I was at the hospital, Mark shows up. He looks terrible, like he had not slept in days. His eyes were bloodshot, his clothes wrinkled, and security had to escort him out because Mom starts screaming at him right there in the ICU waiting room. I've never seen her like that before. She called him things that I don't even know that she knew the words for. As for Samantha, she's filed for divorce. Turns out Mark has been lying to her too. All those years he told her that Jen knew they were not really together, that it was all an act of our parents. He told Samantha that Jen was dating other people, that she was just grateful for his help with the kids, and finding out that he was actually sleeping with Jen the whole time, that he had been leading her on, that was the absolute final straw for Samantha. And it gets worse, because of course it does. 2 days after the hospital chaos, I get a call from Jen. I almost didn't answer, but I figured I owed her that much. She was surprisingly calm, almost eerily so. She tells me that she had gone to get tested for diseases, and she came back positive for something that is luckily curable, but she caught it. She's been calling and texting everyone Mark has ever been with to warn them they better go get tested. So yesterday, I spent 3 hours at the Planned Parenthood waiting for my own test results just because, and they were negative, thank goodness for small mercies. But sitting in the waiting room watching the clock tick by, all I could think was, this was my family now? Strangers connected to lies and diseases. Oh, and the money he lent me? Turns out that was Samantha's inheritance from her grandma. Money that was supposed to be for their kid's college fund. She's demanding it all back now as part of the divorce. Every penny he ever loaned to anyone. I understand completely, but I had to drain my savings to put the rest on a credit card to pay her back. I'm officially broke. But at least that part of this nightmare is over. Mark has been staying at some extended stay hotel near his office, and he keeps trying to contact me, sending those rambling texts about how sorry he is, how he never meant to hurt anyone, how he's going to make it right, and I've blocked his number on my phone, but he messages me on every social media platform, and he even sent a letter to my apartment via certified mail. I tore it up without even reading it. I have not been back to work yet. My manager has been understanding using some of my saved vacation days, but I'll have to go back next week. I can't hide forever. Even though the thoughts of standing at the register, smiling at customers, acting like my entire world hasn't just burned to the ground seems impossible right now. The worst part is even the lying or the heartbreak, or it's not even Dad's heart attack or the testing of the disease scare. The worst part is realizing that my entire childhood was built on coercion and fear. What kind of parents make their son feel so trapped that he constructs this elaborate double life? What kind of brother lies to everyone he supposedly loved for years? What kind of person am I that I came from these people? I don't know what happened next. Dad is still in the hospital. And Mom, staying with her sister, Jen, has taken the kids to stay with her parents, and Samantha has a restraining order against Mark. The divorce filings are already underway. Our extended family is choosing sides, posting cryptic supportive messages on the social media about being there during difficult times, without ever saying what those difficult times actually are. Oh, and me. I'm still sitting in this motel room with its scratchy sheets and flickering ice machine right outside my door, wondering how we ever put the pieces back together after something like this, if we even should. I don't think there's any a-holes anymore, just broken people who hurt each other because they themselves were hurting. I probably won't update again. There's nothing really left to say. Keep your family close if they deserve it. Tell the truth even when it's hard, and if you see your brother at a Chili's with a secret family, just run the other way. Edit. To those asking about the kids, Samantha's children are in therapy, and Jen's kids are too young to fully understand what happened. But they know Uncle Mark won't be around anymore. This incidents of the innocent and all of this are getting the help they need, which is the only silver lining in this whole disaster.
So that nuclear bomb just exploded, and OP and every single thing that OP thought months ago has now changed in their life. They have cut off Mark. OP is no longer as close to her family as she was before, and it just seems like, man, just when you thought it was the last twist of the story, something else hit ya. I gotta know your thoughts on this story, guys. Drop it down below. If you were to be in OP's position, how would you handle this situation? Let's talk about it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the story, and if you want more daily stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Look for the logo right here, which is going to be on the thumbnail, so you know that I'm narrating the story. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. And of course, remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.